welcome again to another episode of eSkwela, your online learning platform for new technologies and new techniques and learning technologies as inspired by our client schools and Globe. So today we have a very fruitful, we'll have a very fruitful episode as we will feature another client of Globe that is successful enough to share their experiences when it comes to integrating technology in the school ecosystem. But before that, I'd like to welcome everyone first in this webinar. And then, of course, do not forget to register for you to get your certificates of attendance. And then please wait also for the announcement of winners later of the eSkwela online learning course with 8 CPD accreditation from the PRC, as well as, of course, the winners of the GCash credits. Please tune in. So today, it's very rainy here in Metro Manila, and a lot of you would be wondering what will be the next steps for schools in the coming school year. So our guest for today is someone whom I know for the past 2 years, and she counts over 21 years of administrative and academic experience at the First City Providential College, where she served as principal, assistant principal, and chemistry teacher. She's also an active and recognized leader of educational, professional, and civic organizations, a prolific science textbook author of Vbal Publishing House Incorporated, and has co-authored with prominent science educators in the Philippines. And of course, her entrepreneurial mindset inspired her to create businesses that provide quality service to the community. At present, she's the Vice President for Academic Affairs of First City Providential College and is one of the prime movers of transforming FCPC to a university. So let's welcome Dr. Echel Antero. Hi, Ma'am Echel. Good morning po.
Hi, Mark. Good morning. It's also
Hello.
in San Jose
Hello,
del
ma'am.
Monte.
Very stunning. We have a very stunning guest today, mga ka-eskwela. So, you'll notice, Dr. Antero, no? We've seen how FCPC grew in the past 2 years. And before we go to the meat of the discussion today, I'd like to ask you several questions, like a few questions before we go before we go to the presentation.
Okay.
Um, if there's one thing that you have learned in the pandemic,
Mhm.
what would that thing, and can you share it to our fellow teachers and educators who are watching?
Personally, for me, I think the most important thing that I learned is uh, to focus on physical strength, because of course, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, this pandemic has been very draining for us. And one way of balancing that is becoming strong physically. So that's why every day I try to work out, and that makes my life more balanced.
Thank you po, ma'am. Ma'am, if there's a skill that you have discovered, as you mentioned, uh, taking care of our good health, of our health, no? So, may skill ba kayo na-discover nitong lockdown natin? And meron naman tayong mga kaibigan, mga teachers that they were into baking. Sa inyo po, ano po yung na-discover nyo?
For me, I learned um, rope jumping
Wow.
as a physical activity. So I do jumping rope every day. Actually, I try 20 minutes a day. And I've been doing that for the past, I think, 3 months. And I learned it from a friend.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so before we go to your presentation, I'd also like to ask you about your entrepreneurial mindset because you were particular with that, no?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about it? Because as far as I know, FCPC is owned by your family, and but aside from that, are there any other business ventures that you are in?
Mhm. Now, for my family, my husband and I, actually, we are the founders and owners of a salon. So right now, we have two salons, and they are in a mall, one in somewhere in Fairview, and the other one is in San Jose del Monte City. So it has been existing for, I think, for 5 years now. And it's a difficult year since last year, but we're trying to survive. And I hope we can make it up to the end of this pandemic.
Ayan po. Support local businesses, mga ka-eskwela. Let's make sure that we also buy local products and we support our local entrepreneurs like Ma'am Echel. So, without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Echel Antero to discuss the journey of First City Providential College and how this particular technology from Globe has helped them, of course, withstand the challenges of COVID-19. Take it away, ma'am.
Thank you again, Mark. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ngayong umaga po ay ikukwento ko po sa inyo kung paano kami natulungan ng Globe School Management System na maitawid ang operations ng First City Providential College sa gitna ng COVID-19 pandemic. Yan po. Again, I am Echel Simon Antero, the Vice President for Academics and Research of First City Providential College. Fcpc is located at the city of San Jose del Monte, the first ever city in the province of Bulacan. With a 5,000 student enrollment, First City Providential College is one of the biggest private higher educational institutions in the city of San Jose del Monte. And our school is ISO certified and has PAHUCOA accreditation in 11 different programs. I'm very sure you can still remember the day when the first lockdown was announced. It was from March 15, 2020 up to April 14, 2020. Sa totoo lang po, nung mga panahon na yon, nakakatakot, nakakalito. Di natin alam kung paano ba tayo mabubuhay. Di natin alam kung ano po ba ang talagang totoo. Ang buong akala natin pagdating ng April 14 ay tapos na ang COVID-19. Nagkamali po tayong lahat. Dahil nag-announce ulit ng extension ng lockdown ng isa pang buwan. And at this point in time, we were already accepting the fact that the end of the pandemic was nowhere in sight. Experts said that the pandemic will not end medically, and that is when a vaccine is already discovered. But it will end socially, when people are already tired of being isolated and will clamor for the government to end the lockdown so that people can go back to work and meet their relatives, co-workers, and friends again. Ang new normal ngayon ay ang required na pagsusuot ng face mask at face shield kahit bakunado na ang isang tao. Akala natin laya na tayo ng katapusan ng Abril, pero nagkamali na naman tayo dahil na-extend ulit ang lockdown ng isa pang buwan. Before the pandemic, we already lived in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. The pandemic made the current world we live in more volatile, more uncertain, more complex, and more ambiguous. Volatile because of the rapid and unexpected change. In my earlier example, we don't know when the lockdown will end. And as a matter of fact, I just received several text messages from friends who are doctors and public government officials that we are already at the verge of having another lockdown. So it's a very volatile solution or situation, I mean. Uncertain because we don't have any certainty of the future. For the schools, we don't know how many enrollment we will have before the start of the school year. So ngayon nga po, ang nagiging trend, malikot po ang simula ng ating pagbubukas ng ating klase dahil nga naghihintay po tayo ng ating mga enrollees. And complex when a problem is difficult to understand or find an answer to because of having many different parts. The question that we had last year, how can we begin enrollment if we are not yet allowed to get out of the house? So yun po ang napakalaking tanong sa atin, sa mga sarili po natin noong tayo po ay nagsisimula sa pandemyang ito. And ambiguous, because there are so many ways of understanding a situation. For example, confusion in certain announcements, government announcements, or even our school announcements. When we announced the online enrollment last year, of course, since it was the first time that we implemented online enrollment, a lot of different versions came out. So we now feel that more than ever, that our family is our ultimate lifeline. The care, support, and love of and from our family help us cope with the challenges posed by the pandemic. As school administrators, we realize the dire need to shift as quickly as we can to alternative instruction delivery like online learning, modular learning, blended learning, and other permutations along the spectrum. We need to be agile so we can cope with a fast-changing world. We realized that what used to be the alternative will be the norm in teaching our students and running the school. So we have to prepare. For First City Providential College, years before the pandemic, we already have an existing IT department and network infrastructure. And I think this facilitated in our transition. Just a few years ago, way back 2019, we forged a partnership with Globe, being the provider of our school management system. Exactly 1 year before the enhanced community quarantine, we signed a contract with Globe. And as you can see here, you see the pictures at present are Globe representatives, Ana Ramos and Leo de los Santos. And of course, our president, Dr. Estrella Simon, and yours truly. And this was signed March 15, 2019, exactly 1 year before the enhanced community quarantine. This is not coincidental, my dear friends. This is providential. So how did we start? 2 weeks into the lockdown, our mindset was that we can still start classes by June 2020. We know that we have to start our enrollment since it was already past our April 1, 2020 schedule in our school calendar. We used this sense of urgency to propel ourselves out of the confusion and fear surrounding the whole world caused by the pandemic. This was when we gathered our ICT team and asked them how to use the Globe school management system in our online enrollment. There were countless Zoom meetings. We were still newbies in using Zoom at the time. The meetings were very draining since our brain is still trying to get used to talking to people without looking through their eyes and seeing their gestures, which are two of the most important elements of effective communication. But we persevered. We tried to help each other to cope with this new way of conducting a meeting. We would tell the more senior staff to mute their mic so as not to disturb everyone with the background noise. And we gave each other several other tips to make the meetings more bearable. After setting up the online enrollment, we turned our attention to transitioning to flexible learning modes. There were no definite guidelines on how to conduct online classes or distance education. Again, we went back to the drawing board and analyzed the data that we have gathered previously. We found three surveys that were previously conducted, and we used this data to better understand our students. The Globe Youth Summit survey on the use of electronic devices that showed 92% of Fcpc students have gadgets like smartphones, tablets, laptops, or PCs. This survey was done August 2019 by the Globe Youth Summit organizers. Another survey is grade 11 student survey on internet access and use of electronic devices that was conducted last February 2020. It showed that 30% of our grade 11 students for school year 2019-2020 have home internet connectivity and 80% have electronic devices. The participation of college students in online classes that were held from March 16 to April 8, 2020 was also surveyed. The result showed that 86.9% were able to participate through different open learning management systems and free video conferencing apps. On May 2020, an online survey on the Fcpc students' learning delivery preference was started. So far, the result of the survey is as follows. 17.4% of the respondents want fully online classes, 32.8% blended learning, 10.4% learning module, and 36.2% still face-to-face classes. From this, we found out that 60.6% of the respondents prefer flexible learning modalities. From the data that we gathered, we formulated the Fcpc Strategic Contingency Plan from 2020 to 2023. This will be our guiding light in traversing the uncharted path in this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. It aims to ensure continuity of inclusive and accessible quality education for the attainment of learning outcomes of each course of the program. Secure sustainable operations of the institution through enrollment recovery and management of finance and business operations. Develop a more responsive institutional development plan to mitigate effects of communicable diseases and natural disasters. Preserve positive mental health of the school community. And this contingency plan was approved by our president last May 2020 and became the basis of the learning continuity plans developed by each department. As a result of the development of the different procedures pertaining to the flexible learning system, a flexible learning primer was created. It includes the work from home arrangement, policies and procedures, and how to upload lessons to the learning management system, just to name a few. And finally, on April 16, 2020, 1 month after the imposition of the lockdown, we started our online enrollment. Wala po kaming experience sa online enrollment, pero hinugot po namin ang lahat ng lakas ng loob para makagawa kami ng policies and procedures nito. Napakahaba po ng pasensya ng aming ICT team. And ngayon po, nagpapasalamat ako sa kanila ng marami sa napakalaki po nilang tulong sa aming transition papunta sa online procedures. Sila po ang nagbigay buhay sa mga naisip namin na nasa management team na policies and procedures para sa online enrollment at mag-convert ng lessons to digital format. And finally, during the last week of August 2020, kami po ay nagsimula ng aming klase. Ang tanong po namin sa mga sarili namin noon ay kung kami po ba ay handa sa pagsisimula ng klase. Hanggang tanong lang po yun dahil of course, kahit hindi po kami handa, kailangan po namin magsimula. Pero dahil sa amin pong pagtsatsaga, sa amin pong pagkakaisa, ay sinigurado po namin handang-handa ang buong eskwelahan, handang-handa ang aming mga estudyante at other stakeholders para po sa pagsisimula ng aming klase. At noon po kami ay nagkakaroon ng online enrollment at sa aming pong paghanda para sa aming pagbubukas ng klase, meron po kaming tuloy-tuloy na information campaign. And I believe that the continuous information campaign was very important, and it should be we should use the simplest words, the simplest manner on how to explain online enrollment, since this is also the first experience of our parents and students. Naglabas kami ng iba't ibang information campaign materials. For example, ito pong nakikita ninyo sa screen. Kasabay po nitong image na ito ay ang link ng online enrollment namin. Nandoon po ang aming contact numbers, email address, of course, iba't iba pang paraan kung paano po makontak ang aming paaralan. At sa sobrang dami po ng gustong magtanong tungkol sa enrollment, dumating po ang punto na halos hindi na po nasasagot ang lahat. Bakit po? Kasi nga po, yun po yung challenge ng lahat ng bago eh. We tried to solve problems proactively, pero pagdating po sa actual na implementation, dun po natin nakikita yung detalye or yung mas maliliit na problema na nag-a-arise. And ano po ang sagot namin dito? Of course, nagdagdag kami ng mas maraming contact numbers at ng mas maraming sasagot sa phone calls para maserbisyohan po namin ang lahat ng aming parents and students. So from the questions that we got from texts, emails, and phone calls, we released these frequently asked questions. And our objective here is to eliminate ambiguity. And of course, patience in explaining to people is crucial. We used the simplest words to put across our message. So, nandiyan po lahat ng mga commonly asked questions. At ang pinaka-importante po na aspeto ng aming online enrollment last year ay kailangan po maintindihan natin ang financial capacity ng ating clients. Kaya po may mga ganito po kaming mga programa noong pong nakaraang taon. At yan po ay nagbunga ng maganda at natulungan po namin ang amin pong mga clients noong nakaraang taon. So lahat po ng pwedeng gimmick para makarelate ang mga readers ay ginawa na po namin. Gaya po ng post na ito, Sigurado po ako naaalala nyo pa ito. Audience engagement is crucial in social media. More audience engagement means more people will see our posts and more people will know about First City Providential College. And that is very important in marketing. And of course, the mental health of all our stakeholders is very, very crucial at this point. So that's why the Guidance Services Office is very active until now in giving psychosocial support to students and employees of First City Providential College. As you can see, we provided all of this psychosocial support, like kamustahan sessions with the teaching and non-teaching staff, the e-bahagi with, again, teaching and non-teaching staff. This time, students are already included. We gave them hotline numbers for psychosocial counseling. We have monthly mental health seminar for teachers. And we will never forget to celebrate the Mental Health Week for the awareness of all the stakeholders of First City Providential College. So what are the features of the Globe School Management System that help us in our transition to online enrollment? And actually not only online enrollment, but also remote processing of different kinds of transactions. So these features also made our operations more efficient and our employees more productive. The first one, of course, is the very opposite paper and pencil registration versus online enrollment. Napakalaki po ng pagkakaiba nitong dalawang ito. At dahil po sa online enrollment, sa totoo lang po, nagkaroon po kami ng panibagong market. Hindi na lamang po nakakonfine sa San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan ang aming mga estudyante, kundi sa iba't ibang bahagi po ng Pilipinas. At mamaya po malalaman ninyo kung gaano po ito na-appreciate ng aming pong mga estudyante galing po sa iba't ibang bahagi ng ating bansa. So we used to have voluminous journals. For the people from the cashier's office, you know how tedious this is. Napakarami po ninyong ginagamit na ledger, yung mga kapal pong logbook, nakakita na po ako niyan. And ang hirap-hirap pong mag-journal entry ng napakaraming isusulat. At syempre, importante po dito ang safekeeping. So kailangan ng mas maraming space, mas malaking space para maitago po natin ang ating pong mga journals at logbooks. And the opposite of this is the SMS spreadsheets. So nung kami po ay nagkaroon na ng Globe School Management System, yung pong mga sangkaterbang journals na ina-accomplish ng aming staff na nasa accounting department ay nabawasan na po ng kaunti. Pero mas nag-rely po kami dun sa aming spreadsheets. Ako po bilang Vice President for Academic Affairs, meron po akong tinatawag na admin account. So sa akin pong admin account, nakikita ko po agad-agad kung ilan na po ang aming estudyante, kung ilan na po ang officially enrolled, kung ilan po ang estudyante sa bawat klase. At nakikita ko rin po agad kung sino ang teacher dun sa specific class na hinahanap ko. So in other words, because of the school management system, nagkaroon po ng real-time updating of the information that we can find in the school management system. At napakaganda po niyan sa mga administrators, lalo na po ngayon na kung halimbawa tayo po ay work from home din, kahit kayo po ay nasa inyong bahay, ay kayang-kaya niyo po bantayan kung ilan na po ang enrollment. Another advantage is, of course, from manual sectioning, this time we have real-time updating of enrollment list. Dati po, yung ating pong mga deans, program heads, and principals, kanya-kanya po sila ng fill-in ng mga sections ng iba't ibang klase. This time, dito po sa ating Globe School Management System, meron na po siyang function na kung saan ilalagay lang po natin kung ilan po ang estudyante sa bawat klase. Automatically, yun na pong system ang maglalagay ng pangalan ng mga bata dun sa section na yun, at ang gagawin na lang po ng dean, ng program head, ng principal, or even the teachers, and most especially the administrators, babalikan na lang nila, titignan na lang po nila yung account nila at malalaman na po nilang lahat ang information na yan. Another is distribution of class cards. So remember that most of our students, especially in elementary and high school, they cannot get out of their homes yet. Now, face-to-face class card distribution is not advised. So this time, since all students have their student accounts, they can access their grades and even their financial accounts from their own student accounts. So that is very nice for us kasi hindi na po natin kailangang i-require ang ating po mga estudyante na pumunta sa ating paaralan para lang makapag-distribute po tayo ng grades. At ang maganda po dito, halimbawa po yung kanyang instructor ay nakapag-encode na ng grades sa system at ito po ay na-approve na ng dean at registrar's office, automatic, makikita na po ito ng estudyante niya sa kanyang sariling student account. So, the best people to attest the functionality of Globe School Management System are, of course, the end users. And who are these? These are our employees, our students, and parents. So, tinanong po namin sila ng mga ilang katanungan, and medyo nung una po nahihiya sila, hindi po sila sanay lumabas sa Facebook Live, pero napilit po namin sila at sila naman po ay nagbigay ng kanilang testimony. So ito po ang kanilang mga sinabi. Okay. Let me share my screen there.
Ang Globe SMS po ang dahilan kung bakit kami sa registrar ay very organized pagdating sa pagbibigay ng quality service sa mga students. We consider Globe SMS here in Fcpc as the best tool in delivering excellence when it comes to communication and technical procedures. Thank you, Globe.
Hindi po ako masyadong techie, pero nung na-introduce na po sa amin ang Globe SMS, at first kala ko po mahihirapan ako, pero dahil very user-friendly and convenient ang SMS, mas napadali po niya ang mga gawain namin, lalo na pagdating sa admin when it comes to data gathering ng students' account, very easy to access and worry-free po ang Globe SMS. For that, thank you so much, Globe.
Simula nung pumasok sa akin itong school management system, marami na nagbago sa proseso namin. From manual processes to automated processes sa pag-handle ng student records tulad ng advising, sectioning, finance stability. Dahil din sa merong online enrollment features nitong school management system na ito, nagawa namin maitawid ang aming enrollment noong school year 2020-2021 na kung saan magagawang mag-enroll ng isang estudyante na hindi na kailangan lumabas ng bahay para pumunta sa school. Lahat ng ito ay nagawa namin dahil sa school management system ng group.
Like to comment yung Globe SMS sa Fcpc, sobrang convenient use, user-friendly, and as well as mas napapabilis yung trabaho namin bilang isang professor. Mas mapabilis yung mode of communication when we want to provide the grades to the student, we want to submit all the requirements that the school is giving to us. Thank you very much, Globe, for giving us this opportunity.
With regards to Globe SMS, actually, it's a gift. Consider it as a gift because from the usual face-to-face class that we have in year 2020 and nag-shift siya into virtual and we are all scared kung kaya ba namin i-execute yon. But introducing this Globe SMS by our administrators made things easier for all of us. The process, procedure, the steps are all basically easy to follow. And syempre, it made it work easier for both the teacher and the students. That's why I'm so thankful that the school was able to have this Globe SMS, school management system, syempre to adopt with the new normal and to help us, teachers, in providing quality education for our students. Kaya po with that, Globe SMS, saludo po ako sa inyo. Maraming salamat.
Napakalaking tulong po ng Globe SMS sa aming mga estudyante. Lalo-lalo na po nung enrollment ay mas pinadali po ng Globe SMS ang online enrollment process. Pagdating naman po sa aming grades, mag-login lang po ako sa Globe SMS account ko at makikita ko na po ang aking grades. Kaya maraming salamat po Globe SMS.
School management made my enrollment at ease because of the different feature it has. It made my enrollment way more convenient and optimize my time and work.
Fcpc school management system helps us process the enrollment easier remotely since we're living here in Cavite. It saves our time and it's user-friendly as well. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. So as you can see, all our employees, even our parents and our students, all of them are very satisfied with the Globe school management system. And all of them are thanking the Globe for giving us this gift. So why choose the Globe school management system? Of course, we know that it's very convenient to use. It is available anywhere, anytime, 24/7. So that's why we can use it in very varied, different ways. And as you can see from the testimonies of our parent, who is from Cavite, it made her enrollment, even if she is in Cavite, very, very easy, very, very smooth. So ano pong effect nito sa atin? Ang effect po nito sa FCPC, hindi na lamang po sa San Jose del Monte City ang aming market, kundi sa buong Pilipinas. So market expansion is there. So yung pong problema natin sa enrollment na lumiliit, at least ito po ay nababalance dahil lumalaki naman po ang ating clientele dahil po meron na pong opportunity ang ating ang mga Pilipino na galing po sa ibang provinces na mag-enroll sa First City Providential College. And of course, the interface is very user-friendly. It's intuitive, actually. Our students, our parents, our employees can use it very easily. For me, I use it every day to check and monitor the enrollment that we have. And it's very easy for me. It's just one click away. And I already know the total number of enrollees that we have, even if I do it every hour. It can be done. And of course, there are real-time reports, and they are always available. So school administrators can monitor operations remotely. And in terms of technical support, they're very responsive. That's why troubleshooting problems is easier, because their tech team is just one phone call away. So dito po sa magdadalawang taon na ganito po ang ating operations, remotely, work from home arrangements. These are the three important takeaways that I have. First and foremost is, do not be afraid of technology. Have courage to use technology, because through training and practice, we can gain confidence in using it. So kahit po tayo po ay medyo senior na, hindi po yan ang dahilan kung bakit hindi po natin dapat gamitin ang technology. Dahil meron naman pong ibibigay na training ang Globe kapag ka po ito ay gagamitin na ng eskwelahan. And be courageous in solving different problems that you encounter. We have to be creative. We have to think out of the box solutions so that we can survive this pandemic. And secondly, that we should have empathy. Being empathic is crucial, especially at this point in time. We should be sensitive to the needs of our team. That's the reason why we have ongoing psychosocial support. And even if it's not in the school level, your colleagues, for example, fellow school administrators, even from other schools, we should help each other. And most especially the middle management, we should also help them cope with all the trials that we are encountering during this pandemic. And thirdly is trust. You have to trust yourself, you have to trust your team, and most especially, we have to trust God. Doubt will always be there because it's human nature and it's part of our evolution. But there is always our Almighty God to give us strength and inner peace. So now, this is already our second school year that we will be in the pandemic, but I feel that with each other, with the ICT team, with the Fcpc management, with all our employees, the faculty, and the staff in the administrative offices, our students and our parents, we are in a much better position now. And I think that because of the Globe School Management System, we arrived at this position that we have right now. And of course, I would like to inform everyone that we are still accepting enrollees. Enrollment is ongoing in First City Providential College, and our tuition fee is very, very much affordable. Actually, if you are a student, an incoming grade 11 student coming from the public school, you will only be paying 50 pesos and you are already enrolled, because that's the requirement of the system. And for college, if you're an incoming freshman, you will only have to pay 500 pesos and you are already enrolled in First City Providential College. You might be asking the question, First City Providential College, parang narinig ko na yan. Parang napanood ko na sila sa TV. Well, actually, we had our own share of spotlight, kahit maikli lang po. I would like to share this video again so that masagot na po yung tanong ninyo. Kung saan nyo ba narinig, nakita ang First City Providential College. So again, allow me to share my screen. Sandali lang po. Okay, so yan po ang sagot sa mga tanong ninyo kanina. Ang aming pong paaralan ay meron pong dance troupe na tinatawag na Fcpc Baliktanaw. At opo, sila po yung nanalo dun sa pinakahuling World of Dance Philippines. And makikita nyo po sa inyong screen ang iba't ibang programs na ino-offer po namin sa First City Providential College. So mula po preschool, from kindergarten to grade school, junior high school, senior high school, up to college. And dito po, nakalista na po kung ano-ano po yung aming mga PACOCOA Level 1 accredited programs, Level 2 accredited programs, and other college programs that we are offering. So, sana po ay marami po kayong natutunan sa aking presentation this morning. And sana po ngayong darating na pasukan, tayo po ay magkaroon po ng mas magandang experience dahil mas marunong na po tayo ngayon. Mas alam na natin kung paano po natin i-deliver ang ating services sa ating pong mga clients. And hopefully, it will be a better year for us. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma'am Etchel. Maraming salamat po for sharing your experience with Globe School Management System. Let's try to answer some of the questions from our audience. May question po tayo dito. How has SMS helped you transition? Mahirap po ba ito? Because at this point for schools like us, marami po kaming nawawalang mga estudyante. No? Siguro po nawawalan sila ng estudyante, Ma'am Etchel.
Nawawalan ng estudyante.
Yes po. So is this something that could be helpful for them?
Again, we have more reach. That's the advantage of the school management system. So we have to take advantage of that. From our experience, of course, because of financial hardships of our parents, they tend to enroll their children to the public school. But definitely, we should think of other ways on how to increase our enrollment. So kami po sa First City Providential College, hindi po kami nagmamarket lang sa San Jose del Monte. Nagmamarket din kami sa iba't ibang lugar. At ang advantage ng online enrollment using the school management system, it's seamless. They will just have to click the enrollment link and they can be enrolled in Fcpc immediately. So do not confine yourself in your geographic location. Kailangan na po talaga nating lumabas.
Another question po. Can you give some birth pains during the implementation of this technology? And is it something that also changed your way of thinking?
Yes. One major birth pains that we experience is again communicating with our clients. So when you post an announcement, for example, in Facebook or other social media, may kanya-kanya silang interpretation eh. Hindi natin maiiwasan yan. Yun yung inherent ambiguity nung communication process. So anong ginagawa po namin? Aside from those posts, nagbibigay kami ng iba pang paraan kung paano nila kami makausap. So that's of course messenger, text, Facebook, call. Kaya lang yun nga po, dumating kami sa point na hindi na namin kayang sagutin lahat-lahat. So, ang ginawa po namin, naglagay po kami ng mas maraming sasagot, mas maraming contact numbers. Yun.
And I think it's a good problem also. It's a good problem because if there are several inquiries, that means there's gonna be more leads that will be generated and more
That's
enrollees.
correct. Kaya lang,
Yes, ma'am. Yung second question niya, how does this change your way of thinking, itong pag-integrate ng SMS sa inyong school environment? Kasi I remember, pre-pandemic, meron tayong mga schools na nag-implement ng online system through a Google form. So you mentioned seamless ang proseso, no? So from accounting, from registration, from requests online, paano po nabago yung pananaw nyo in terms of technology?
Unang-una, syempre, na-realize ko ngayon na yung ICT team namin ay napaka-importante. Pagka kami ay merong desisyon na or may policy or procedure na gagawin, kasama namin sila sa planning. Kasi sila yung implementer kung paano yan mapupunta sa aming mga clients. So ang ginawa namin dyan, meron din naman kaming Google Form. Pero yung Google Form namin, it's integrated with the school management system. So dapat dun sa yung integration ng Google Forms to the with the school management system, dapat klaro yung instruction dun sa user para tama yung information na ibibigay niya sa amin. Okay?
Thank you po, ma'am. Another question from I think this is an administrator po, no? So they're asking, is this something that can be implemented ng mabilis or do you have lead time for implementation po?
I can attest that the Globe can do it in the least possible time. Actually, I saw the picture. I showed you the picture earlier. The contract signing was done March 15, 2019. Our enrollment during that time, we started, I think, second week of April. So they only had 1 month to migrate all the data. So ganun po kabilis kumilos ang Globe School Management System.
Thank you po, Ma'am Etchel. And I wish FCPC more success because, as I've said, this is one of my first few experiences. Not only because when I joined Globe, this is one of my first projects talaga. And this is not the first time to be part of Eskwela. Before when we placed the workshop, face-to-face workshop in your school, there's a lot. Kahit bumabagyo po talaga, ang lahat ng mga attendees natin ay dinumog ang FCPC with a lot of participants. And now we have a lot of viewers. And thank you, Ma'am Etchel, for doing this again with us and for sharing your experiences when it comes to using the school management system. So maraming salamat po, and we hope to see you again. And I'm excited to announce this, that FCPC will be part of our Forefront National Conference for Digital Learning. So they will be presenting also their research on digital learning in the upcoming national conference. So maraming salamat po for saying yes. And ma'am, also, we will be giving away CPD accredited course for FCPC. So you have to choose your teachers who will participate in the CPD program. So the teachers that will complete the course will earn 8 CPD points from the
Wow.
PRC. We have that also as part of this initiative. So maraming salamat po, Ma'am Etchel.
You're very much welcome, Mark.
Ayan po.
Thank you very
And
much.
then thank you so much. And then we have our winners of the online training. So let's announce the winners for online training. Let's show them in our screen, and our GCash, 3 winners for GCash credits will be also seen on our screen. So here are the winners for the Eskwela online training and the 500 GCash winners. So thank you everyone for tuning in today. Maraming salamat po again, FCPC. And enrollment is ongoing. Please do not hesitate to log into their website and look for the enroll button. And please make sure that you follow also their social media pages. Maraming salamat po, First City Providential College and Dr. Echel Antero. So, thank you so much po. So, I'll see you again, mga ka-eskwela. See you in August. That's gonna be next month. See you in August. So, stay tuned and keep safe.